Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Gamestack Podcast right here on We Just Love Games Network. You are listening to episode 212, Boats, Bots, and Boardrooms. It's been one of those weeks in gaming where everything feels completely normal. If your definition of normal includes pirate survival games hitting a million wish lists before launch, developers carefully redefining the word AI, players organizing internationally to stop publishers from deleting the things they already bought, and Phil Spencer retiring while Xbox hands the keys to an AI executive. Just standard consumer experience. Somewhere out there, a husband and a wife indie team is hand sculpting creatures with love and artistry. Meanwhile, somewhere else, a boardroom is asking how fast that can be automated, preferably before the next earnings call. And of course, we'll check GameStock, so tonight we'll talk about pirates, policies, profits, and quiet realizations that we are all just very committed hobbyists inside a publicly traded ecosystem. We are your hosts, Vendertron and Ravensview. Welcome to the show. We're glad you're here. Let's begin. Ravensview, how are you doing?
Very good, and quite an eloquent introduction there.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I just riff off of what you put in the news.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. But it's a Friday too, so for some
yes.
people, I did mention to the woman at the grocery store that I'm retired, but I'm careful to say TGIF to people who work during the week, and she said, "Yeah, except I work on the weekend." So
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you work on the
sorry,
weekend, it's like,
sorry.
yeah, I don't know how to help you.
No, oh well. So
How was your week? Is it good?
yeah, it was a good week. It's a good week. It's weather goes off and on here, and a lot of a lot of railroading, but also some writing and some podcasting and a mix of odds and ends. So
It's been a pretty busy week for me work-wise. It's just one of those weeks where every day that I came home, I was just like, oh my God, what a day. That was such a busy day. And then it's
mm,
just like, it compounded. And then, like, our faculty was having a TGIF. Every month, one department hosts a TGIF event where people get to let together and they have like drinks and food and stuff, and there's like prizes and things. And this time I was just like, you know what? No, I just kind of want to go home and I want to eat the roast beef that has been cooking in my crock pot all day. And I just want to sit down and do a podcast, you know?
very nice.
So here we are. To all of our lovely listeners joining in, thank you for joining us, spending your Friday evening with us, at least for a few hours. If you are tuning in after the fact, thank you. This is where we get the bulk of our listeners, so we love that you continue to support the show. And a little word from some of our other supporters, Oak and Crow Coffee.
If your morning coffee needs more soul, more character than your usual brew, then Oak and Crow Coffee is for you. This is specialty coffee with an attitude, roasted with punk and metal energy straight out of New York's indie scene. Oak and Crow is coffee for people who actually care what's in their cup. Check them out and brew with Oak and Crow Coffee at oakandcrow.com to level up your morning ritual.
And if you'd like to check out some coffee, we recommend Oak and Crow Brew. It's great. Yeah. Anyways, we've got a show to do. Tell your friends about the show. If you find us on any of the various podcast platforms, good God, we're on so many platforms now. Apple, Spotify, Overcast, Pocket Cast, Amazon Music, YouTube, Castro, Good Pods, Metacast, Castbox, iHeartRadio, etc. You can find all of our shows now on gamestack.transistor.fm. It is the new podcast platform that we are joining and going to use to run our shows. And we also have a new website. If you'd like to check that out, you can go to wejustlovegames.com and check out our new webpage where you can access the shows and various information. You can also email us, except don't email us this week because I broke the email in setting up the new website. So if you send anything, we're probably not going to get it. So yeah, I'll have that up and running by the weekend. Yeah. And the Discord has been pretty busy this week. People have been posting all kinds of things in the lobby, talking about the battle of of the border between U.S. and Canada at the Olympics. The men's final gold medal game. The United States ended up taking gold there. But some redemption, at least in the games, when we had the men's Canadian curling final take home the gold, which may or may not be steeped in controversy, but yeah, we won't go there. But yeah, the Discord's been very busy this week and covering the Olympics. I don't really even need to look at the news. If you'd like to join our Discord, you can go to our website. There's a link there. You can also go to twitch.tv/WeJustLoveGames. In the About section, there is a link to our Discord there as well. We're going to talk about some news, gameplay, stocks, and our own GameStack challenge that we have for you new this week, and what the community has been up to. Let's hop into the news with this just in. Oh, that sounds terrible. Great bumper. Okay. Take it away, Raven.
Well, the first story is a Sea of Thieves meets sea shanties. Basically, it's a survival pirate co-op pirate game, and it's described as being sort of the basic chop chop pick craft. But pirates and sea shanties, and then eventually you pick a crew and you head off to sail the seas. It has not been released. It is will be released. The developers are refusing to commit. They said when it's ready, we'll bring it out. And they described it as co-op pirate survival game has been wishlisted over 1 million times. And after seeing the video,
sorry, I had a little problem with the B-roll. Here's the video. It looks pretty good, actually. It looks kind of realistic, I would say. It's like Ark meets Sea of Thieves.
I'm not hearing any sea shanties, though.
Right, that's because I have the audio off. Here's some sea shanties.
Okay.
By Raven's request.
Yeah.
I like the building. The building aspect is cool. That sounds great. I'm just going to go ahead and mute it so we don't get a DMCA strike. But,
good point. Yeah.
This looks like right up my alley. Like a game I want to play. You can even grow plants. So who doesn't want pirates and plants?
And I think you can shoot the plants. I'm not sure what happened.
Forget Pirates of Penzance. I want pirates and plants.
Yeah. So, like I said, the developer has are wisely. It's not early access. And it's not, we'll bring it out next week, whether it's ready or not. And I guess, I assume what they're doing now is they're getting investment dollars. They've probably hired another 5 people with the 1 million. I would guess if you go to the bank and say, I've got 1 million wish, once you explain to the bank what 1 million wish list means.
Well, here's some alpha footage on the B-roll for you to look at of what it's like to sail a ship on the open seas in this game. It looks pretty darn good.
Yeah, I think I'm feeling queasy. Yeah.
Are these crewmates NPC members, I wonder, or can you play? It's a
co-op game.
It's co-op, not multiplayer.
Are they not the same?
Well, co-op is usually 2. Multiplayer would be more than 2.
I'm not sure. I gotcha.
So, anyways, it looks really good. I don't know. Sea of Thieves holds a very special place in my heart. So they've got some pretty big shoes to fill. But this looks like it's gonna be really good. I'm gonna have to give this a go. We're gonna have to play this, I think. Yeah. Anyways, thanks for sharing that. Are you gonna get that when it comes out, or?
I'm tempted. My criteria is how much shoot 'em up is there, and how much does it depend on me being able to use my left hand fingers very quickly on the keys, because they are slow. I'm old.
Right.
And
Right. Okay.
uh, aside from the fact that I usually can't remember what button is the sword? Oh, this is the sword. How do I pick some things up? Okay, so
Yeah.
that's why driving a train is, yeah, that's restful.
Yeah. Yeah. Restful. Yeah. That's true. That's true.
Um, so lots of great content in that, and I assume they've got a huge team, or they may not. They may have two people and a big Cray computer. Our next story is about video game developers using AI. Um, Players want to know, but the rules are patchy. It's Steam initially. Steam started off in 2023. They basically said, "Okay, no AI. This is bad. We don't want any AI near any games that we're getting." And then they got persuaded to say, "Okay, will you disclose it if there's AI during development or gameplay?" And now it's, well, only if the players directly experience it. And it's a voluntary disclosure, and it's a free-form text field, so you can't really search for it. But and itch.io and Epic Games and others have a similar. They're all wrestling with this. How do we how do we let developers use AI and still deliver quality games and not fire all the developers? So, but I assume players want to know if there's AI in their games.
Well, I mean, I think that there's a social responsibility to report when AI is used to develop any sort of project or
Yes.
product.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I know within my own role at the university, we have a framework for using AI in everything that we do, and we're required to disclose how AI was used in whatever we produce,
Mm-hmm.
especially in research.
Mm-hmm.
But administratively, even, if we generate a report, we do have to include a disclosure about the use of AI and how that report was generated. I expect the same from the video game industry.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Full
mean,
stop.
as a player though, if you buy a game and you really like the game, is that it? Do you really morally you should worry about it? But
Well, there's a spectrum.
yeah.
There's people fall on a spectrum of where they sit with AI, right?
Mm.
And many developers are using AI tools in their workflows, but how it's used, I think, varies quite a bit right now. So, internal tasks like generating code snippets obviously is super helpful with video game design and automating very repetitive work.
Hmm.
But some studios are using generative AI to create art assets and textures and dialogue
Hmm.
and other
Hmm.
content. That's, I think, the more controversial part. But what difference is that between generative AI assets for video game and procedural generation,
Oh,
like
that
No
was
Man's Sky,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. That was their initial criteria was it had to be you had to say whether it was done during development or whether it's something during the game
Yeah,
that you see.
yeah. And you're
And
right. The rules are patchy. Different platforms and regions have different approaches to how they use AI. And I
the whole yeah the whole I was gonna say the whole AI environment is I know here in Canada the government is scrambling to decide what rules and regulations do we need and can we get them in place faster than 5 years from now?
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I mean,
so
full stop. As somebody I consider myself to be part-time vibe coder. If you're using LLM to write your code, you aren't really developing anything.
mm,
You're not developing anything. Um, and if these companies who are hiring developers who solely rely on AI to code and design games are in trouble because those individuals won't have the know-how to troubleshoot or expand on the existing code that's already developed,
good point.
or
Yeah.
add new features that they need. So it's I think studios are going to have a hard time hiring people because they're going to have to really weed out the people who can actually develop code and design games from the people who cannot. And where that's going to come into play is testing in interviews.
Hmm.
Write me a function that will do this. Design me this in 15 minutes.
Yeah, yeah,
And if you
yeah,
can't do it without AI, then
yeah, yeah, yeah.
right?
Or figure out what's wrong with this. We've got this. Why is this not working? Where do you think the problem is?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Be creative. Yes. I know you can't use your computer. No, no, no.
I think, people will say a lot of things like why AI or whatever, if it's helpful, you keep using it, but just try to follow best practices. Document your progress, keep setup guides,
Mm,
um, continually learn and expand your knowledge about software development. You can use AI as an extension and an assistant,
yeah.
but it shouldn't replace the core talent that is why the company hired you.
Mm,
Otherwise, you are expendable, right?
yeah.
So, I mean, AI, this is the thing. And I might get a lot of flack for this, but people are very against AI. But here's the reality: it is a tidal wave that has already crashed ashore, and you can either choose to grab a surfboard or get
Mm,
swept away.
mm,
And that's just what it is. And so buckle up because it's here and we have to adapt and we have to work together to try to control it in such a way. But the problem is like it's so decentralized that we
mm.
don't actually have any control over it right now. Yeah.
No.
I don't know. How do you feel about purchasing a game where some of the assets are generated with AI? Do you worry about the originality of it, the quality of it?
Sorry. Me or the readers or the
No,
listeners?
I'm asking you. I'm asking you.
Oh, sorry. Um, I guess I worry from, first of all, I do worry morally that developers have been put out of work. But if it's given me a good quality game, I'm a writer. There's a big thing about AI in writing because there's a lot of people that churn out, not a lot of people, there are people churning out AI generated trashy romance style novels and firing them up onto Amazon,
Yeah.
a book a week sort of
Yeah.
thing. And there's people out there who don't really care, and I just want something to read on the bus, so they're buying. So there's a market for it. There's probably a market. Well, there always has been a market for shitty games. Don't know.
I mean, the bottom line is that AI is already part of how many games are made,
Hmm.
right? And the rules about disclosing its use are inconsistent, confusing, and voluntary.
Yeah,
And some developers have embraced it, some have avoided it. Players, for the most part, are pushing for clearer transparency. And I think industry and regulations just aren't there yet.
yeah, they'll get there.
Yeah.
But the players are more active. The players are also. We had a story well, a couple of weeks ago about Stop Killing Games, which has been updated. Stop Killing Games was a movement. I think it started, I don't know if in the UK or just in Europe, basically protesting against developers who have a game that is probably dependent on servers for functionality. Um, and after a number of years, they just shut down whatever support there was, and they basically killed the game. And it, you've bought the game. Maybe your friends want to set up a server or something. So they've now launching NGOs in Europe and Europe and the U.S. NGO meaning non-government organization.
Right.
It's a group that they it's sort of a lobby group, but it's political or not, and like Doctors Without Borders is an example of an NGO, or Oxfam is an NGO.
Mm-hmm.
So they want to set this up to basically um, push the in European and U.S. governments to put in legislation to control or stop developers from killing games. I'm not sure how that would work, but at least the players, the customers, are speaking up and taking legal steps to stop this. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic. And there was, I think we had talked about this previously on GameStack podcast, but it matters. I mean, this movement began after the shutdown of the crew, right? Where the game became entirely unplayable once servers were turned off.
Yeah,
And even
exactly.
for players who had bought it, right? And that sparked a huge debate around digital ownership and stewardship rights.
Mm.
And then, they gathered like over 1 million verified signatures.
Well,
But I think, these new organizations really have evolved and I think are intended to engage in long-term lobbying
hmm
with regulators and lawmakers around these systems, and to also act as watchdogs for, helping players report problematic game shutdowns.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it also provides a little bit more of a formal structure and legal standing to influence policy and legislation around digital game ownership.
Yes.
Yeah.
Something more formal than yes, pitchforks and torches
Yeah.
and
I
marching.
mean,
Yes.
who was it that said it was like Ross Scott was talking about how building these NGOs isn't just symbolic, it's like a signal to a longer term commitment to a larger problem.
hmm
And that, even if um, he steps back from the day to day of that, he can still, like, these NGOs will still maintain a presence in
Yeah.
policy
Yeah.
debates. Like
Yeah.
it's a train on its own now, right?
Yeah. And like the software developing corporations, they're not facing individual users. They're facing another organization, the NGO.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, yes.
Yeah.
So let's sit down at the table.
Yeah, it's nice to see that sort of this stewardship happening.
Yeah. Well, my last story is a lighter one. It's a crafting game. The title, my new indie darling, is this crafting game stuffed with hand sculpted creatures, made by a husband and wife team.
Oh, tell me
And
more.
and they are, well, I don't know much more about it other than the fact that they make all these little creatures,
Oh my god.
and you, your little critter is called Aster. You live on top of a giant goofy whale with legs called a terror beast, and you chop trees to build the crafting pieces, and you snap together a little cottage, and you plant tiny vegetable garden on
Oh,
top
look
of
at this
them.
sheep. This
I
sheep
know
is
you,
adorable.
I know you befriend all these little creatures,
Oh, I've got
and
to send this to Shalene.
and these are based on, like, they're based on actual characters. This team have, I don't know, created this husband and wife development team.
It's adorable. I love it.
They are. They are.
It's kind of giving me what is that game with the geese? I can't remember. Shalene was playing it before. Anyways, Odd Fauna. It's called Secret of the Terra Beast. You should check it out.
That's cute.
Yeah. Um.
And then the next, I think Vendor, you had a story about Phil Spector.
Spencer. Phil Spencer.
They're different. Yeah.
Yes.
Carry on. Obviously, this is why you should talk about it.
Oh gosh. Yeah, you guys, this is actually big news. Big shake up at Xbox this week, and this one feels a little bit different. It is not just mass layoffs.
Another one.
It is a retirement. Phil Spencer is stepping down after more than a decade running Xbox. And that part wasn't the shocking part, if you can believe it. He's been signaling retirement for quite some time. The surprise comes with Sarah Bond, his number 2, the presumed successor, is also out. Instead, Microsoft has handed the entire gaming division to Asha Sharma, who is an executive from Microsoft's AI and platform side with no traditional gaming background whatsoever. So that's not a routine lateral transition. That is more of a statement, I think. To understand why, you have to kind of rewind to 2013, the Xbox One era. Microsoft has lost that generation badly. And that loss really mattered because that's when players built their digital libraries. Once you buy 200 games on PlayStation, you're not casually switching platforms. You're sticking with it, right? And so Phil Spencer really pivoted. Games Pass came about, cloud gaming, mobile expansions, massive acquisitions by Microsoft. We've seen Bethesda and then Activision. And the long-term vision was Xbox everywhere. Subscription revenue, cloud streaming, growth beyond the Xbox console itself. And in 2022, Phil Spencer said about mobile that if we don't gain relevancy as a gaming brand on phones, over time, the business will become unattainable. And that was basically his thesis. And the problem was Microsoft's execution of it. So Games Pass plateaued around 30 million subscribers. Cloud gaming ran headfirst into Apple's App Store restrictions, and the promised Xbox mobile store never really launched, and console sales never caught up to PlayStation or Nintendo. So Microsoft spent tens of billions of dollars to scale up this, and the growth just never matched what their ambition actually was. So now, instead of evaluating the gamer insider, Microsoft has promoted someone whose background is platform scaling and AI infrastructure and user acquisition. That tells you, I think that's very telling about what they think the problem actually is. And it shows you that it's not really in alignment with their vision. And so I think we know that the next Xbox is sort of rumored to be even closer to a PC. The strategy still seems to be that Xbox anywhere and everywhere sort of thing, but now it may be about making that vision actually function instead of over-promising it. So this really isn't Microsoft abandoning gaming per se. Activision was a $69 billion bet. They're not walking away from that, right? But this does feel like the end of Phil Spencer's era of Xbox and the gamer-in-chief and the console-first identity that we've talked about so wholeheartedly on this show. The question is, what replaces it? And I think that's the real story here. It's going to be very interesting to report on what Microsoft's actions and roadmap looks like in the next couple years, because I think if we all love Xbox, we should be kind of concerned what that's going to entail.
They won't leave the space open. They'll replace it with something in that space.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
There will be another console. It's just, what is that going to be? And I don't know. I feel like Microsoft's a bit of a runaway train. And like console sales hit a 12-year low over the 2025 holiday. And analysts attributed it mostly to pricing. less compelling hardware in those consoles, competing consoles like PlayStation 5 and Nintendo Switch. And it's true, the Xbox as a console kind of became a brick of sorts.
So are they in trouble? Do they need government funding?
Yeah, probably. They'll probably
Yes.
get a huge buyout from the government or something. Who knows? But this is the biggest shift in leadership since 2013. So the biggest shift in the last decade, at least. And it has really sparked questions around direction and strategy for the company. And this new CEO, who was previously led Microsoft's core AI products group, that has nothing to do with gaming. And it ties very well into your previous story that we talked about at the beginning of the news segment about the role of AI in gaming and the policy and regulation around it, right? That has raised concerns amongst fans about focus and priorities. And I think the industry is sounding alarms, right? Xbox co-founder Seamus Blackley has publicly suggested that the platform is being gradually sunsetted in favor of broader AI-centric strategies at Microsoft. Some see the leadership change as positioning Xbox for a decline rather than a growth. And
Wow.
so, yeah, I'm interested to see what happens. I mean, of course, they're saying that they have a renewed commitment to the core of gaming and that, you know, their consoles are still a priority and that they want to return to the brand's roots. But, like, what does that really mean? I don't know. Again, AI is just a tool. It's not a replacement. So,
Oh.
anyways, that's the news. RTZ has a few posts in the GameStack marketplace to tell you about. For our Canadian listeners, the Steam Deck is back in stock on the Steam store. You can now get the 512 gigabyte and 1 terabyte Steam Deck, and that retails for $689 and $819 Canadian, respectively. Schneewolf has also graciously posted the Humble RPG Bundle, Fallout Tabletop Mega Bundle by Modifius, is now available at a discounted rate on Humble Bundle. And what is this other game that RTZ posted here? In Metaphor Refantasio. This is a prologue demo put out on Steam Store, but the full game is $93.49. So if you want to try a demo of that, head on over to our Discord in the GameStack Marketplace. Speaking of prices, let's talk about stocks, and I'm hoping this bumper is not going to be terrible. We'll give it a go. Oh, it sounds good, you guys. Sounds like I fixed it. Nice. Sony closed out at $23.06, and these stock prices are in comparison to the previous Friday of our show. That was up $1.13. Microsoft closed at $392.74, down $4.49. Nintendo closed out at $14.10, down 31 cents. Take-Two up $11.76 at $211.48. EA closed out 17 cents higher at $257. Tencent down $2 at $66, and Roblox Corp closed out $6.66 higher at $68.66. The stock market this week, Microsoft is modestly softer amid a broader tech pullback and a bit of a shakeup that we had seen. Take-Two Interactive is slightly down, reflecting some of the profits, and some of the other competitors as well are mixed to slightly weaker this week. They are tracking broader tech softness as markets digest earnings and macro news. The tech-heavy NASDAQ has been volatile as well, and even strong reports from chip leaders haven't fully lifted sector sentiment. What is driving action across the video game stock market this week? Well, tech market rotation specifically, so NVIDIA and other AI-linked names showing uneven responses to earnings. Investors have been cautious with growth tech stocks, which includes major gaming players like Microsoft. Big deals and strategy pressure, EA's pending leverage buyout, and Microsoft's Xbox leadership shakeup have kept attenuation on execution risks in the gaming sector. And console and mobile dynamics are our last area. Broad industry data continues to show heavy player engagement in mobile and digital downloads, keeping long-term narratives alive, even if short-term stocks move are modest. So that is the stocks for the week. We do have some mail, you guys.
You've got mail.
We've got mail. And this is from none other than Miss Shalene herself. She says, "Hey there, lovely listeners." Actually, Raven, do you want to read it? I'll read it. It's okay. Because you don't have it up.
The window. I don't have it up. Go ahead.
Hey there, lovely listeners. I know not everyone is part of our Discord server, although you should be, and might be wondering where I've been. I've had some rough mental health times over the last few months, which I don't think comes as a surprise to anyone. My job was highly stressful, and that didn't help. I lost my job in December, right before both Christmas and my wedding, so that was nice. It was political, and I am now feeling pretty bitter about my whole local government career. In late December, Archon and I were married in a small ceremony, and it's been beautiful. It was beautiful, and we're super happy. In January, I had medically necessary surgery that was moderately serious, and it's taken longer for me to bounce back than I expected. I'm doing okay, but it's a process and I'm still dealing with a lot of fatigue. The lower stress of not doing a job and also stepping back from the podcast responsibility has been very good for me, but I'm actively looking for a job now and trying to get my life in a balanced place. I'm feeling a little lost because I want to do something different and I'm not entirely sure where to start. I haven't been gaming a whole lot outside of Pokemon Go, but I have been reading, and you can follow along in the Bookstack channel on the Discord. I hope you're all doing well out there. Love, Shalene. And thank you, Shalene, for writing into the show. It's always good to hear from you, and I'm sure the listeners are very appreciative on the update. We're glad to hear that you're doing well, and that you're turning a new page. Best of luck on your job hunt. Hopefully you can find something that is less stressful and doesn't make you want to cut the brakes on your boss's car. Anyways, that is the mail. How can people write into the show, Raven's View?
You've got me there. You see, you put me on the spot with these things.
It's a test. It's a test.
Test.
Just post in the Mailstack channel in the Discord.
Oh, that's true. Just on the Mailstack channel.
You can email us at info@WeJustLoveGames, but not right now because the email's broken. Don't forget.
Yes, that's what I was thinking of. You said there's Winfo, and you said that the email didn't work.
No, email's totally broken. Yeah. I gotta fix it still. So poor Joseph Tao. He probably sent his compiled news to us this week, and anyways, that is the GameStack that is Mailstack from Shalene. My tea totally just went down the wrong tube.
Yeah.
Have you got a GameStack challenge for us, Raven's View?
I think the GameStack challenge was I related to that the last story I had there about the cuddly little creatures. I started off suggesting send us a picture of your desk, but I don't really want to see pictures of last week's lunch that you haven't finished yet. I meant the little critters you have, because you've got little game critters. I don't know. You said you have a vendor drawn.
I do. Let me show you.
Yeah.
Jess gave me this, and it sits on my desk all the time. It's a little Vendertron statue in a cloche.
Yeah, or maybe people have a few little critters on top of the monitor, or whatever they have. So, send us a picture of what your gaming friends are, the critters that you talk to when you're complaining about the game, asking, why doesn't this work? I've done this.
I'm almost certain that somebody will post a picture of pets, and that is okay. I'll accept pets. Pets are
Yeah,
fine.
we'll assume they're stuffed. So
Yeah, we'll just assume that they're stuffed furry friends. Yeah.
yeah, yes.
So that is the GameStack challenge, and if you don't know or can't remember what that is, just head on over to the GameStack challenge channel in the Discord, and then we will post it there so you can see it. But let's talk about what the community's playing. So this first screenshot comes to us from Raven's View. You posted this one. Do you want to talk about it, Raven?
This is the my current obsession, this Railroader game, and this is just another screenshot I did of me chugging down the track. I'm not in the cab, but you can get into the cab and drive it there and pull the throttle and the different brake levers and stuff like this if you want to drive the train. But I'm not. I'm just driving into the sunset along the track with my.
Did you lay these tracks yourself?
No,
No.
no. You can, and you notice the side of the car. You can just make it out. It's a Ravens View Railroad.
Yeah, let me zoom in on that so
Yes.
everybody can see it. Ravens View Railroad. I like it.
Yes, yes, and the logo's above the this
Yeah.
this is R 2301 is the name that's associated with this engine. But you can they are bringing out the next mod the developer is bringing out is called Maintenance of Way, which will mean that you have the option of the track gradually degrading over time. So you would have to shut down part of your railroad and chug along slowly with those track laying, ballast fixing machines that
Yep.
and fix
Cool.
it. So and you could also put in a new siding if you wanted a new siding somewhere and stuff like this. So
Right.
cool. And again, early access still, but
So this next post is actually a clip, and we don't normally post clips, but it's only a quick one, and it's from Rhino Man, and he says, "I have approached within reach of silly OP in my current Minecraft mod pack. This is the pack's method of generating ingots. Each time it completes a process, it makes a copper and goes ding. Copper goes burr." And I'm just going to enable the audio so that we can all hear this. And it's like ticking along. Yeah. I was expecting like a ding. There was no ding.
there's no ding.
Anyways,
No.
great post. Next screenshot is mine actually. This is sorry, it's like my messy living room. Let me zoom in so you don't have to look at that. But this is a screenshot of Let's Play Curling on the Switch. My partner and I were so into curling, watching the curling over the Olympics, that I bought this curling game on the Switch, and it's actually so much fun. It is so much fun. We've been playing curling. There is a regular curling mode, which you see here on the screen. I was Canada, and my partner was Africa.
Okay.
And he definitely ended up winning, which is very fitting with reality because Canada often gets beat out by other foreign countries at their own sport. So
they are.
But there is another setting for Let's Play Curling where you can play like an arcade version of it where these little penguins sit on the tops of the stones and they slide down the ice, and you have to try to get them into these little pools of water. It's cute.
Is there a finger mode too when you throw the stone?
Well, there's the controller, right? So
Or you could poke it one more time, like
like the booping? Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. We don't talk about that.
Okay.
But with the Switch controllers, you can shake them like this, and it's like sweeping.
Nice.
It's the same as sweeping. Or you can tap the A button. That's the other. But it's really technical. Like, you've got to get down the ice, and you've got to like put certain curl and like check the weight and time it, and yeah, it's good. We have a screenshot here from we actually have a few screenshots from Taz here. He says, "What happened to a screamer after getting shocked with a baton?" And this is in 7 Days to Die.
Wow.
And it looks kind of scary. So we're just going to skip to the next one, which is a morning sunrise at base camp in Eden Crafters. And this looks great. He's got the sun horizon over the water. He's right on the coast there. Looks nice. His ship is parked. And then we've got this really great one. This is morning view from his new cabin porch in Icarus. And he's got a cabin on the left. It's a wood cabin, and there is a little campfire, and it's right on the water. And there's this really glassy blue water with an island in the middle, and in the background are snow-capped mountains. It looks really nice.
Oh, it looks like one of your hiking pictures.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Here, another one at nighttime. He says, blue moon view through the clouds on a night in Icarus. And it's kind of hard to make out, but if I zoom in, you can see it there. That is the screenshots and stories. If you'd like to submit what you've been up to, post in the screenshots and stories channel in the Discord, and we'll include them on the next episode of GameStack Podcast. Thanks for your submissions this week. Let's talk about what we've been playing. So, what have you been up to this week?
Well, I've been doing, as I said, a lot of odds and ends of writing and podcasting and stuff. But in my spare time, I've been spending a lot of hours playing Railroader. I'm up to, I think I'm under to 130 hours now after a couple of weeks.
Oh, jeez.
But it's the sort of like it uses waypoints for a lot of things. So you can say, okay, drive this passenger train up to this other area, and it's going to take 10 minutes. So you can watch the news, you can go make a coffee, you can do, various stuff, or you can jump somewhere else and you can shunt some cars around in the game, and then you come back, oh, the passenger train made it. But it's not, definitely this is not, Grand Theft, racing around a Grand Theft or a racing car or something. This is
Grand Theft Railroad.
Yeah, Grand Theft Rail, not Grand Theft Railroad. It's very, very leisurely. So you end up, it's one of those games where you end up putting a lot of hours in, and you didn't really do a lot other than,
Well,
sort of like
the nice thing
driving
is,
up and down a field with a combine,
That's true.
an hour later.
Except you do have to steer in that. The nice thing about this is it's kind of like it slows you down a little bit, because you have to be present to watch it, but it also gets you doing other things at home.
Yeah.
Are there mods for that game?
There are a lot of mods. People have the next thing the developer is bringing out is some structure and framework to manage control mods, which is probably going to break some of them, but the community in general is happy. They'll give us some guidelines, but there are a lot of mods. You can add different kinds of, people do a lot of skins for their locomotives.
Okay. Well, I mean, and the skin that you have, is that...
Well, that's just an in-game thing, but people do, different colorful ones, or they do different models of locomotives, or they might add some tracks here or a Y junction and stuff like this, or different industry. So there's Nexus has is a big site that they use for mods. So, but I'm not near needing any mods. So it's cool, but it's a good idea for a game. I mean, you need to. It helps if you allow people to mod your game, as long as you've got some control on it. Because if it's too wide open, then people put bad mods on, and then they say your game is shitty because it always crashes. Yeah, but you are, man. What have you been driving?
Well, I mean, I have been, I guess I'll start. I told you guys that I was reading Talented Mr. Ripley in the last episode of GameStack, right? Well, I finished that book since that time, and I moved on to Patricia Highsmith's second volume of the 5-book box set, which is Ripley Underground, and it's a continuation of the same story. Anyways, where I'm going with that is that I started driving in ETS in Italy to try to immerse myself even more in the book. And I also ended up making my profile Tom Ripley. And so now I guess I'm role playing like a murderer who is also doubling as a truck
Truck driver.
driver.
What a disguise.
Right. They'll never figure me out.
Yeah.
But I've also been recording these ETS2 journeys. And I've been overlaying them on bringing them into Adobe Premiere and editing them, and then speeding up the duration of the cargo run or the delivery by like 2,000% so that you can watch it all in 1 minute. And I've also overlaid my sim dashboard and all of the details about the job itself. So at times I guess it can make you kind of dizzy, but it's kind of fun to watch you do your job and
Yeah.
to
You can't really tell
see.
whether it's in Italy or Germany, but
Yeah, you're still just on the road. I've been trying to do Italian jobs that are along the coast. But as you can see here, I actually am along the coast, but
you sit quite far back
you
in your
don't
cab
really
too, don't you?
Yeah, and you don't really see the water because you're so far in from the shore, right? So, yeah.
It's like that letterbox view. So
Yeah, so I've been driving around Italy and also listening to like vintage Italian music. It's been really great. But I'm also doing the event. I'm working my way through the ETS2 event for Valentine's Day. I'm trying to get it done. I think I have 5 more jobs to do to unlock the achievement and get the special item for Valentine's Day. I've also been playing. I finally hopped into Animal Crossing New Horizons to check out the new update, and I booted up Animal Crossing expecting sort of the usual routine to do my rounds, shake trees, dig up fossils, comb the beach and clean them. But instead, Isabel was just there and she was vibrating. She's like, "Big news," she announced. And she spilled tea all over her cardigan. Not really. She says the island has been updated. And those are the dangerous words that I've been putting off. So the first thing that I noticed was that the sky is different. It has sort of a new depth to it. It actually kind of looked like it had gone to therapy and come back with boundaries. I think Tom Nook sort of emerged from resident services wearing his sunglasses indoors, and there's like a hotel now, yeah, it's the hotel is really cool. It's the same as the Happy Home Paradise where you have to like design homes and furnish the homes. And what else for the updates did I see that I liked? Oh, you have expanded storage and you can also store your plants. So that was kind of nice. And then it was really cool to see the, what's his name? The guy who drives the boat at the pier. You finally get to meet his family. So he is the guy that takes you to the Mystery Islands. You go to the pier and you give him like I don't know, 1,000 bells to charter you out to a mystery island. And inside on the bow of the boat, he's got a little drawing of like his family. Because the guy works 24 hours a day. They never let him leave the pier. He's always in the boat when you go there. He hasn't seen his family in like 100 years. And now the hotel is at the pier and his family is in the hotel. His, I think his wife is what's the person at the desk in the hotel? Concierge?
The concierge, yeah.
His wife is the concierge, and his grandmother his mother runs the gift shop. And yeah, there's a lot of quality life improvements. So there's additional fence styles. There's new pathway patterns. There's new outdoor furniture variants and different types of terraforming. There's increased storage, as I said, more interior accent walls, different dialogue with villagers, and improved camera controls, etc., etc. I think it's probably a pretty big update, comparatively speaking. We haven't had one for many years, but I've also already talked about Let's Play Curling, so that's been super fun. And that's pretty much my gameplay. I'm planning to read some more of Ripley Underground and do some more driving. I do have some hardware to share with you guys. So I bought a new piece of hardware. I don't know if you can tell what this is. It looks like a screen, right? Mm-hmm. On the back, it looks a little bit funky. So this is actually a field monitor for filming. So this mounts on the top of your camera so that you can actually see in better detail the different elements of what you're filming, whether or not something is overexposed, out of focus, things like that. So I have to go to Montreal at the end of March, and I'm going to be doing some filming there, and I need some equipment that is going to help me be able to film better on location. And so I bought this field monitor that's going to come with me in my carry-on. And it comes in this nice, cute case. So I can put a bunch of other stuff in there. There's some pockets in there as well, so I can put all my camera batteries and everything.
Now, when you say it's for your camera, do you mean your little Brownie film camera, your Nikon D90? What?
It is the camera that I use to do the show, which is a Sony Alpha 6000, and I have a APS-C lens for filming.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so it's this same lens.
Okay, so bigger than a phone and smaller than a
let me if I
like
hold
a big professional camera.
Yeah. And so the screen itself is this big, and my phone is this big.
Yeah.
So
I can see, yes. Now I see why you need the bigger screen. Yes.
Well, the screen on the Sony Alpha 6000 is actually quite small. This screen actually is 1600 nits. Mm-hmm. So the resolution on it is 4K. And it's super bright, so you can have it if you're filming outside as well. You can actually see the screen.
Yes. Cool.
But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's all touch and has all these different functions. So I'm going to be fiddling with that this weekend as well. Anyways, I think that's a show. Yeah.
If your morning coffee needs more soul, more character than your usual brew, then Oak and Crow coffee is for you. This is specialty coffee with an attitude, roasted with punk and metal energy straight out of New York's indie scene. Oak and Crow is coffee for people who actually care what's in their cup. Check them out and brew with Oak and Crow coffee at oakandcrow.com to level up your morning ritual.
Any other plugs or announcements from you, Raven?
No, just my normal ravensview.ca to get you to my stuff.
Also, check out our new website, wejustlovegames.com.
Yes.
You can soon, once again, email us at info@wejustlovegames.com. But in the meantime, if you've got to write into the show, post in the Mailstack channel in the Discord. We're also on X at We Just Love Games, facebook.com/group/We Just Love Games, we're also on the Discord, which you can access via our website or transistor.fm, or also twitch.tv/We Just Love Games, which is also where we record the show live every Friday at 6:30 p.m. Mountain Standard, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. You can find us on pretty much every podcast platform: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Overcast, Pocket Cast, Amazon Music, YouTube, Castro, Good Pods, Metacast, Castbox, and iHeartRadio. And if I haven't listed a platform where you listen, head on over to gamestack.transistor.fm, where you can find the rest of those platforms. Please like, subscribe, and review. Thank you all for listening. And Raven, what is your last word?
My last word tomorrow. It's a weekend, Saturday. I'm not sure what people have planned, but it is National Tooth Fairy Day, and it is also National Chocolate Souffle Day.
So have the chocolate souffle and then break a tooth on it and put it under your pillow.
Do you get still get we still get money for that?
Good night, everyone.